All right, so let's talk about Season Pass. Season Pass is a program that I introduced in December, and I kicked off in January. It is a quarterly program, kind of seasonal, right? So there are 4 season passes a year. Just introduced the third one, so that would be summer, fall. And the whole idea behind Season Pass is that you get a little snippet. Ooh, golly, we're so crooked there. Let's not be that way. You get a snippet of product for each month. It's a manageable amount of product. I mean, we all love our collections, right? Don't get me wrong. I love a big collection, just like everybody else out there. But sometimes you only need so much July. Sometimes you only need so much Easter, right? And so the whole thought behind the Season Pass is you get a kind of broad selection of product for a period of 3 months, but a very kind of narrow for each month. So that's Season Pass. Now, when I first introduced Season Pass, we had grandiose plans, and those grandiose plans have come to fruition with the summer fall Season Pass. So I always like to say we kind of had to walk before we ran. We had to kind of get our feet wet, dip our toe in the water, to make sure we kind of had a good feel for what we wanted to do. So there's some really big changes that are taking place with Season Pass, and that has been introduced with the summer fall Season Pass. So as I take a look at the summer fall Season Pass, I will talk about those changes because you're going to see them reflected in the summer fall Season Pass. If you missed me at the beginning, tonight I will be doing a live giveaway for a summer fall Season Pass kit, and that will take place in the chat. So at some point I will say, hey everybody, I'm getting ready in the next couple of minutes to do the giveaway. And when that happens, we usually see the chat really start to come to life because the more that you are chatting in the chat, essentially the more opportunities you have to win. Because when I'm ready to give it away, I'll stop. I scroll my finger up in the chat, wherever that finger stops, and that is the person that wins. Not doing that yet, but just to kind of give you an idea what's going to happen with that. All right, so as we talk about Season Pass, it is, like I mentioned, a quarterly kit. This is the third one. So there is one for winter, spring. There is one for spring, summer. This is the one for summer, fall. And there will be one more this year that releases in September for the months of October, November, December, and that is fall/holiday. So all of the Season Passes come packed in one of my 13 by 13 craft storage pouches, right? This is like exactly what these storage pouches are for. So it kind of keeps your kit together. As we open that up, one of the big changes to Season Pass is we have moved from assorted size papers now to all 12 by 12. So all 12 by 12, all papers in the kit are now 12 by 12, which makes it super versatile, really for any type of project, right? You can cut them down, you can leave them 12 by 12, you can do whatever you need, but they all start at 12 by 12. So that was the first big change. The second big change is that we are now printing, without getting super detailed, on an offset press. What that means to you is that this is your regular traditional scrapbooking paper look and feel. In the past, with the first 2 Season Passes, we were printing on a digital press. And that is because we just had to get our feet wet, right? We had to get an idea or get a feel for the numbers. We had to get a feel for our costs, get a feel for everything that we wanted to do. So starting with summer, fall, this is your grand old, regular, beautiful 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. With some of the digital papers, sometimes with digital, depending on the color, you may give it a little bit of a shine, but now that we are working on an offset press, no shine. So it's all nice and matte. Those of you that purchased the my new postcards and passport collection, exact same paper, exact same quality and feel. It's my printer that I've been working with for years. It's my printer that has been doing our idea book for the last 3 years. Also the same printer that did my themed traveler's notebook inserts, now doing Season Pass as well. So those are the first 2 big changes. All the papers are now 12 by 12, and now all that nice kind of matte, nice look and feel. Another change, the back of the cover has a usable pattern, and it's always had a usable pattern. We'll talk about what that usable pattern was in the past, but now it has a pattern that coordinates with the kit. So really you are getting 13 papers instead of 12, all right? So let's take a look at those papers. As we break out the summer fall season pass, we're looking at 3 months, right? July, August, and September. So starting with July, for every month now, you will have 4 12 by 12 papers. Another big change. In the past, we had a 6 by 8 paper that had 4 3 by 4 cards. As I mentioned earlier, all papers in the season pass are now 12 by 12, which means you have more cards on your cut apart paper. You have 8. I can do the math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 4 by 4 cards. You have 8 3 by 4 cards. Let's try that again. 8 3 by 4 cards and 2 4 by 6 cards. So if you are working in a traveler's notebook, when we're setting up our traveler's notebook every month, generally we're using 3 by 4 cards. But now if you're working in a mini book, you have 4 by 6s and you have double the amount of 3 by 4s plus now 2 bonus 4 by 6s. So July, beautiful color palette. Nice summer themed, very loose. I think there is only one item in the entire kit that has anything to do with the 4th of July, and it's that card right there that says the 4th of July. Other than that, everything is super neutral for summer, no matter what country you live in. Now, we know everyone has a 4th of July, but in the US, 4th of July tends to mean something a little bit different to us, right? On the back side, you have a nice kind of tone-on-tone polka dot. Then we take a look at the next paper. How fun is that? The tickets. So you could use this as a full 12 by 12. You could cut each of those ticket strips horizontally. You could cut each of the ticket strips vertically. So lots of different options there. That will give you a really good feel for the color palette for July. There's that beautiful blue floral, which you saw right there in the coordinating yellow on the back of the cover sheet. Look how fun this is. Look at those popsicles. If this doesn't take you back to being a little kid, at least it does for me, like the rocket pops, right? And then even those, I don't even know what those were called, but I just remember those rocket pops. Totally reminds me of being a little kid. On the back side of that, a nice neutral kind of star pattern. I'm such a sucker for a good stripe, and that is a great, great, great stripe. I will tell you right now, because the printer asked me this, and also Denise and Lily that do all my kitting and order packing and packing asked me this. They're like, oh no, is something wrong with the paper? And I said, no, you will notice there is a little bit of distressing in the artwork. So when you look at this stripe, don't think anything is wrong. If you saw every single piece of paper that I had printed for season pass, you'd see that in every one. So just kind of a nice, fun little distress there. On the back side, just a really beautiful blue. I love that blue, just a little floral there. And that takes us from July moving into August. All right, August. Now, August has really a back to school theme. And I will tell you what, I am long past school age. I am also long past having kids that are school age. But to me, I love school supplies. I love rulers and pencils and things like that. So whether or not you're a teacher or you have kids in school, you once went to school, you've gone back to school, whatever it is, we don't have to be in school to enjoy, kind of a really fun back to school-ish theme for August. So you will see there's kind of two themes here. You have a back to school, but you also have just nice neutral florals. So if you're like, yeah, kind of school isn't really my thing, then you can go the floral route. So we're looking at the 3x4, 4x6 cut aparts. Some room for a little bit of journaling if you want to do a little bit of journaling, if maybe you're doing a layout or doing a pocket page mini book. Cute stack of books. I love this. Now, instead of saying back to school, back to the routine, right? So I don't know about you, but sometimes summer for me, you end up a little bit out of your routine because it's just summer. So a lot of times August, late August, we're jumping back into the routine, whatever the routine is for you. All right, backside, love those apples. Apples just so fun. And the colors there, so bright and rich. The red and the green, just so good. Classic ruler, right? Whether it's school or not, give me a good old classic ruler. Love that. Again, you could use that whole, or you could cut it up and have lots of different individual 12-inch ruler strips or stripes. Backside. I know this is a toss-up for which side I like better. The pencils, multicolored pencils. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Is this one go here? Did I miss something up? I don't remember. I did. This got, well, it doesn't really matter, but this is just not grouped correctly in my kit. The watermelons go with July. Doesn't really matter, but watermelons go with July. And then that nice horizontal kind of teal and white stripe. But one thing you will notice, as we look at July and August, there is nothing here that can't coordinate together. And because June, July, and August kind of all fall, they can fall in the same color palette, or excuse me, July, August, September. You will see that this, from the paper perspective, almost could work as just one big summer collection because all the colors really blend well together, and that's by design. All right, so you have the beautiful multicolored floral. Backside, you have a nice green and white diagonal stripe. Then we move into September. The designer that I worked with on this collection, Cassidy Demkov, she did an amazing job on making all of those colors work so well together. So watch this. When you see, let me pull one of these. Let's look at this. When you see those, look at how many of those colors, you kind of have the similar yellows, you have similar blues, you have similar kind of peach and pink tones, you have similar kind of minty colors. So like I said, a lot of your papers can kind of blend together across the months, which I think when she did that, when she first came back to me and said, here's the color palette, I'm like, well, it doesn't have to all be like that. And she said, well, I think it might be kind of fun. And I said, you know what? We could certainly do that for the summer fall. We can't do that for like fall holiday because you put Christmas in there with red and green and you put Halloween in there with orange and black. It gets a little bit harder to do, but it worked really well for summer fall. All right, so this is the month of September. Again, you have your 8 3x4 cards, your 2 4x6s, and yes, you do see a squirrel. Of course, I said, Cassidy, it's fall. Let's bring the squirrel in, right? We got to bring a squirrel in wherever we can. So nice neutral fall. You'll notice it's also a really light colored fall, not super heavy. I love all of the leaves there in the different colors. And then this, look at that little tic-tac-toe board. Isn't that so cute? Those beautiful butterflies on the back side. You have our little kind of forest scene with the fox and the little branches, little tiny squirrel, and then our snail. Backside, a nice, good, just nice neutral check, buffalo check. There are those beautiful leaves, and the colors in this, it's a good, nice transition kind of from summer into early fall, right? Without it being like super dark and heavy. And you know, fall sometimes gets that way, but plenty of time for that in November, right? Love that plaid on the backside, and then that beautiful floral, and then a nice neutral polka dot on the back. All right, so those are the 12 papers, and I should say 13 with the back of that cover sheet. Those are the different patterns. From there, we're going to take a look at the die cuts. So I have already opened up the die cut package. Let me just reference this for a quick second. 68 die cut pieces. So let me stop and just check and see. Lots of chat happening in the chat. I love it. If I have missed any questions that Amy did not catch for me, you guys have been chatting away and leaving lots of comments, which I love. So it looks like you're loving the paper, and I love that. That makes me so happy. So happy. All right. So in the die cut pack, we're going to transition to die cuts. There are 68 pieces in the die cut pack. I have separated them by month, so it will make it really easy for us to see. I also put them on a black background, so it's really easy for us to see. So those are all of the individual die cuts for the month of July. We've got those little popsicles, we have the florals, a bicycle, a couple of tickets, we have our watermelon, a few stars. So those are the die cuts for the month of July. And the pack is pretty well divided into, 3 months. It's kind of pretty well divided in thirds. Here is the die cut. Here are the die cuts for August. Some fun glasses, little ruler. Love these little guys here. You have your paintbrushes and your pencils, your little tubes of paint. And I will show you how I have used season pass so far. I've already set my traveler's notebooks up for the months of July, August, and September, so you can kind of see it in use. Melissa Ramirez said, question, do those die cuts cut the images from the pattern paper? They do not, Melissa, so they are not the same size as the images from the pattern paper. In fact, we'll just take a look at this. There are quite a few of the die cuts that you don't even see in the pattern paper. So let's take a look. Let's look at this. This one would be the only one where you see the pencils, the only one where you see, I believe, the glasses, the only one where you see the paintbrushes, only one, actually you only see the little paint tubes in the die cut. So like when you look at the glasses, they are larger. The apple might be similarly sized. Let's look. If I can get that up. There we go. That one is actually looks like dead on. What else? Other than that, I mean, this book stack is different size, right? So hopefully that answered your question, if I understood what you were asking. Okay, that is August. And then we move into September. In September, we have all of our little forest creatures. We have our squirrel, we have a fox. Look at the little quail, so cute. Our little teeny tiny snail, little grouping of mushrooms. So a nice assortment there of die cuts for the month of September. All right, let's take a look at what else is in the kit. So we've looked at the papers, we've looked at the die cuts. Then we have the word strip stickers. So word strip stickers, if you know me, you know I use word strip stickers quite a bit. I always say if it looks like something is missing, the answer is always a word strip sticker. So this is a staple in really my collections, because I can say now I did that in postcards and passports, and you will see something similar in my new Dear December collection that you'll start seeing in August. But this one has 78 word strip stickers, and they're always divided into sections. So for the summer fall, you have 1, 2, 3 sections. So very loosely, July, August, September. And then these are all really neutral. These could work really for anything. All right, so those are the word strip stickers. Another big change to Season Pass, and we knew again this also from the beginning. I'll just do this on here. Was that the 3 rolls of washi now sport patterns from the Season Pass itself, as opposed to being just kind of neutral washi that I had pulled. So what you see here, this is the month of July, this is August, and this is September. So I'll just swatch these really quickly so you can see what they look like. But they're full rolls. That is a full roll of washi. So the washi always retails at $4 a roll. So when you think that with the 3 rolls of washi, you're getting $12 worth of washi in your kit. All of the changes I've talked about, you guys, and then the washi is kind of that last change, the big change to the last of the big changes that we did to Season Pass. No price increase. Same price. So I will tell you, oh, actually there's a couple more things we need to take a look at. 2 more things that are important to see. But same price. I think the retail value of the Season Pass, I think if I remember the calculation, was about $64. And so $50 is a really, really good price. And there you have those 3 washi. And again, what Cassidy did an awesome job of. Each of those works independently, July, August, September. But look at the 3 together. The 3 go beautifully together as well. All right, what else is in Season Pass? Holy cow, it's like the never-ending Season Pass, right? There are 2 more things. Next up, we have the 4x6 stamp set. So there are 18 stamps in that 4x6 stamp set. So lots of little fun things that you can use across months. You can use for every month. You can use just for a particular month. But also they are neutral enough that you could use those in any of your projects, right? Not just with your Season Pass things. And then you have the option, okay? You have the option of either including a package of 2 of my lined Traveler's Notebook inserts, or not. So if you pick the option with the line travelers notebook inserts, that's what takes the price to $49.99. And if you opt to not have the package of 2 line travelers notebook inserts, the price is $42.99. So that is a lot of stuff, you guys. And as I mentioned, it is, I'm not gonna say it's discounted because that makes it sound like it's bargain basement. It is an incredible value. Like I said, it's about $64, the product in the kit. So there you have it. That is the brand new summer fall season pass. And that gives you a very good idea for the changes that we made. They're all things that we had. Actually, I will tell you, I didn't have the 12 by 12 plans, all 12 by 12s. But as I started talking to the printer and started looking at our costs, I thought, you know what? I can absorb that. I can absorb the increase in the cost to go from the kind of the different sizes to everything 12 by 12. So there you have it.